we kind of expected it just to be either Nigma's going to show up and just dominate, or it should be a close game. And thank you, we got the close game. It was so beautiful to watch. It was all about like Nigma's ahead. You have those early rotations, and then suddenly, like HellRaisers able to capitalize on Nigma mistake that we haven't seen other teams be able to do. And then it opens up the game, and then it boils down to one critical fight with the eggs on like one hit. Mind control comes in, gets the stun, and it was a beautiful game. Like the best way to start a best of 5, 1000%.
Are you ever worried about that kind of effect where a game is that close and some teams they kind of like they get demoralized by it maybe, and all of a sudden the next game gets to be a bit of a run over?
What I'm worried when you mention that is that, remember against Secret, they were about to lose the first game, they won it. Then against Liquid, they lost first game and then won the next 3 convincingly. So actually, HellRaisers didn't take this one, and they possibly could just lose the next 2. From what we've seen from Nigma, it's not unlikely to happen, but obviously we're all hoping for a 5-game series and that HellRaisers is going to bounce back.
I think that it's just more important we look at the fact that simply HellRaisers were actually able to kind of combat up against Nigma. Like, we look at how they played, we described it as like TI level playstyle. S4 praised them as well, that this team is like on another level right now. And then you have HellRaisers, a team, the CIS region, they weren't qualifying for majors. Obviously they replaced Gilga God by the way, with Roger. And now they just elevated their game. Like, it's just that these teams are kind of very close in terms of how they play the game. They're both aggressive. HellRaisers made really crucial tweaks to their playstyle. Normally it's Funnick making these plays alone, and then you kind of have the cushion supports behind. But now they opted to make sure they always had numbers. Every fight, if you look at it, HellRaisers were the first ones to bring 4 or 5 heroes to a fight. Normally you'd see Nigma do that, but it was HellRaisers this time. They were the ones making these first moves. Sure, it didn't go too well around the 20-minute mark when you had a Phoenix with an Ags and a PA with Desto BKB, but it's their relentlessness. Like, I don't see this being a sweep 3-0. I feel like HellRaisers, they're going to bring something, and
hopefully not.
Yeah, I'm just taken back by how beautiful that game was, honestly. Oh, man.
It's that mentality. It's about that mind reset, and of course you have very experienced players on the side of HellRaisers. That shouldn't be too much concern. I guess maybe a concern that I think we lazed on a little bit previously was that I think you were saying, Nico, that the draft for Nigma was more synergistic, right? Their heroes work better together compared to HellRaisers.
They were definitely, they definitely were. But HellRaisers actually itemized around that, because you have a draft that is synergistic, but it's kind of a physical damage-oriented draft. So you have a way to actually pick up the items around that and play it.
Yeah, they had so much reach. They had so much ability just to move around the map, and just it looked so fluid. And it was that pick-off. Like, I think the last comment about that game was just simply, the game was Nigma favored up until the point that mid-fight when PA was alone bottom and they were able to capitalize on a couple pickoffs. It's only because they have Ember, Pangolier, Void Spirit, all these heroes that can suddenly be on top of you out of nowhere. And I hope to see this style of drafting coming in potentially in the next game.
It looks like we're kind of getting that effect, right? We've got heroes that can actually play pretty rapidly, Clockwork on one side, and then the open of the Oracle and the Batrider for the side of HellRaisers.
Yeah, Oracle and Clockwork kind of counter each other out in some way. Oracle, you just put the Fate's Edict on someone and he does not take damage from the Clock. On the other hand, Clock uses Rocket, finds the Oracle, then zones him out, and actually you can kill the core that the Oracle is supposed to protect. But on the other hand, we have a Batrider, solid pick against the Clock. I like how the opening is going, and the perfect pick against the Batrider and against the Oracle is the Nyx. One more scouting hero for Nigma. We've seen that they're favoring these Invis heroes, and I'm curious to see how they're going to use the Nyx in this game.
Yeah, for sure. I think the main thing though simply is showing that Clockwork would most likely now be the off lane, and which I think is perfectly fine. You're going to have a strong lane. You've got the kind of double stun lane. Most carries do feel threatened by Clockwork at 3, unless you have one of those kind of inbuilt BKB type heroes, so Juggernaut, Lifestealer, for example. But HellRaisers picking that up, probably not. Maybe the Jug again, we'll see.
I think that looking at these two heroes, if they're both supports, I would prefer both of them to be on the safe lane, right? I was talking more about that long lane that you have to chase. Clockwork fits really well into that role. Or maybe if they do what they've been doing a lot, send an aggro tri lane, leave mind control on the safe lane, steal a Clock, and then though against the Batrider, maybe not the best idea, but who knows? They've been doing some crazy stuff, and I don't really think they that it's going to be easy to predict, but a position 5 Nyx is a thing. I play it a lot. It's really good against the Batrider. Even in lane, you can sometimes start even with the mana burn. You mana burn him twice, and he has no mana. He cannot spam the sticky napalm. He cannot fly because he has no mana. And of course, you are going to have mana to spam the mana burn since you're going to have sticks.
That's a fair point. And then I guess the way to look at this is Void Spirit coming out. Are we just keeping up this consistent idea of mobility?
Yes.
And oh,
Go,
it's back.
Go!
All right, screw the 5 Nyx. I think we know where this bad boy's going.
Nice. Okay, so game 1, I was a little bit, I was upset because I became a believer of the Clinks. I hated it yesterday, game 1, when I saw it just get demolished by Liquid. And I was like, what is this madness? What are you doing, Kuroki? And then, yeah, of course, Kuroki God, he obviously understands the game beautifully. And there's, okay, we got Nigma. Nice. All right, cool. I'll stop being. This is not biased.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to start like bowing or maybe
no.
put a little temple to Kuro.
No, I'm done. That was my moment. I showed. I think everyone is happy to see it. It was enjoyable to watch, and
it was interesting to see, right? Like, it's like that, okay, I think we glazed on this when Liz was on the panel. It just kind of felt like that pub experience, right? Where you've got this guy that is, he wanted mid, he didn't get mid, then he just starts going for this heavy right-click build and pretends he's the carry.
So you're saying that your pub experience is the guy who doesn't get mid happily will then play the 5 role and still try to win the game?
By building like a 1 or 2.
I
get
wish
that
I
a
was
lot.
in your pubs. They sound fantastic. The fact that he doesn't get his role and doesn't instantly run down mid or go jungle.
That doesn't happen in pubs. Dota community is never like that. It's never toxic, and the pubs are always really nice. So I don't know what kind of games you've been playing, but that never happens in my pubs.
Yeah, it's that comparison, right? Like, you know, my people are worried about being reported. Okay, they don't want to lose their accounts.
Ricky.
They try and do what they can to be good people. And then the Ricky, yeah, this is a lot of fight already coming up from HellRaisers, right? Like, you can just run at them after the lane.
Okay, let's focus ourselves back into the draft, okay? I won't lie, I got a bit carried away there. The difference, though, between the two lineups on HellRaisers, the first game, they had a lot of soft stun in which they could poke and then punish when BKBs were off cooldown or positional. This game, they have Ricky, they have Oracle, Batrider. Like, Batrider, you play off Lasso, Ricky, sure, maybe Diffusal Blade, but there's not that continuous stun that they can bring to a fight. So if they want to start a fight, it needs to be on their terms. And if they're ever on the back foot, I feel like it could be potentially quite difficult to play into this. And then when you look at these heroes on Nigma right now, you've got Clinks, his build. I don't know if you looked at his build right now. He goes Skeleton Walk, so it's like Searing Arrows, Skeleton Walk, Strafe, maxing Skeleton Walk. He always wants to be moving around the map, being active. He doesn't try and go for the damage build. He's just being present. He gets his ultimate level 6, and he's just trying to be a nuisance. You pair that with Clockwork and Nyx. All 3 of these heroes have the same playstyle. It's leave laning phase, start running around the map, ping pong around, try and get things done. So it's just mainly the fact that these heroes, it's easy for them to play into this aggressive playstyle. And HellRaisers, sure, you can, but Ricky needs Diffusal. Void Spirit needs Yules or something else. And
I feel like I'm not the fan of the Ricky pick, just because Nyx and the Clock naturally build into a 4-staff. Nyx can react with the carapace. If you jump on him, you see the animation of the jump, the damage goes in, and then only he hits you. So you can actually react with your carapace if you are paying attention all the time. So I'm not the biggest fan of this Ricky pick. Also, given the idea that Liquid has 2 more picks to respond to it, in my opinion, doesn't bring too much to the table. Apart from in the laning phase, if it is against the Clock doesn't really do much.
Yeah, for sure. With Blink Strike, yeah. I guess another smaller point is simply these heroes, with Ricky Jumpstone, it's kind of hard to kill them, right? If he's alone. Like, Nyx and Clinks just go invis. Ricky now needs to be carrying Dust. That's one less kind of like active item slot or kind of stat-based item slot. And then, yeah, I think right now, it doesn't look great, but of course they can still round out their draft using the ultimate last pick. I know HellRaisers, they do like their broods, they do like their kind of, I don't use the term cheese, but it is like the cheesier heroes, right? And I think HellRaisers could very much capitalize on that. They are a team, TA, Alchemist, Brood. This was kind of their bread and butter and what kind of made them good in the online tournaments before playing in this charity event.
And how about the Silencer? Because I believe we've seen Nigma run this before, right? I think they've done it on Miracle.
They played it on Weehaw in a mid matchup against Ember Spirit, and they also played it on Miracle in an aggressive tri lane when they had, I believe, mind control on the safe lane solo Night Stalker.
Yeah. And does this, like, if you're on the side of HellRaisers, is this Silencer the potential for it to be a core? Is that a scary factor when you look at the 4 heroes they have on the table?
Oh, 100%. Like, other than Ricky, actually, I guess even Ricky, all of these heroes hate playing against Silencer. None of them are going to be able to itemize early enough to deal with it. Void Spirit might get yours, but as soon as Global goes down, you don't really do anything.
Yeah, if your Oracle didn't pre-cast his Fortune's End and then use his false promise.
If he goes for that like 10k play of just like...
it can happen. You see the hook shot on someone and you instantly start casting. So
sure.
that's kind of the play. That's how you play against these initiation lineups. But yeah, I wanted to say you banned the Meepo here. Talked about Silencer Meepo combo, how good it is. Even if there are Meepo counters in the game, it's just impossible to play against this. They get rid of it. They don't really have the heroes to go against it. And now we see an anti-mage. So how are we laning this? Anti-mage core, Silencer core, and
so
Clock
anti-mage will be carry, Silencer will be on Weeha, Clockwork will be on Mind Control, with the position 5 Clinks, and position 4 Nips, which I think they executed this draft yesterday as well. They had the anti-mage carry. I was personally quite skeptical how they enable it, but they were able to, and they ban out the Brood because, of course, you want to cover yourself. You've got quite a greedy lineup, but in a really good pick for HellRaisers. I think maybe TA could be pretty solid here.
How do you lane this, though? I'd rather lane Nyx with the AM than the Clinks. I feel like Clinks and AM could suffer a lot against the Batrider.
They normally do put the Clinks in an aggressive position because he likes to go Blightstone.
Yeah, and he goes well with the clock, right?
Yeah.
I talked about how you deal with the Nyx against the Batrider. It's something I've seen multiple times. Sometimes people don't go for it. They don't go for the mana burn, but I feel like it's the best way in the laning stage to deal with him because sometimes you're not going to be able to turn because of the...
There's the Alchemist. Okay.
Okay, nice.
All right, a farming game on both sides then.
Yeah, I feel like HellRaisers hero pool in this last pick scenario, they have, like, normally it's Brood, Alch, TA, Meepo is normally their go-tos for this ultimate last pick, and yeah, they go for the Alchemist.
Does it feel...
Am I a fan? No, simply because of the playstyle Nigma like presents. Alchemist wants around 14 minutes of just, please leave me alone, let me hit some creeps, and then I've got Radiance BKB. But when you've got a Clinks running around already, Clockwork, Nyx, and then Miracle, he doesn't play this anti-mage as if it's static in a lane. He doesn't play off Battle Fury. He'll be farm his lane, he'll be active, he'll happily join a couple of fights. So I feel sure, in theory, Alchemist could be okay, but against the playstyle that Nigma demonstrates, it's going to be a very rough game for sure.
I can definitely agree on that. The playstyle that Nigma is playing is awesome. Also, the anti-mage, I talked about it, how hard it is. Miracle plays it perfectly. He comes into the fights, uses the mana void to get those kills, sometimes even stays to hit, even though like he doesn't even have a Battle Fury, he doesn't have a Manta, but he's still fighting. So I feel like this Nigma lineup can punish the Alch. So in normal circumstances, if I didn't see anything on this tournament, I'd go HellRaisers, but here, definitely Nigma.
I think the one saving moment, though, simply for HellRaisers, if they are able to find farm for Alchemist, they have this time a Rookie with Diffusal Blade against Anti-Mage is very strong. Alchemist with that early net worth advantage could roll over these weaker aggro heroes that Clock, Nyx, and Clinks aren't really that good when into like a big beefcake that Alchemist could be. So I think it's critical that if Alchemist gets a good game, HellRaisers should be able to take it, potentially. Or if they are able to shut that farm out, it should be Nigmas all the way.
All right, so the question is whether HellRaisers can find themselves enough farm or if the Tractor's just out of gas. And to take them through the action, we've switched it up in the castle. Nomad's still here, but I believe he's been joined by a magnificent specimen. It is Lizard. How's it going, boys?
You definitely have some undiscovered feelings about this, don't you? But, you know, that's okay. I think we all do a little bit. But yes, let's get into this game. It's HellRaisers running the Alchemist versus Nigma running the Anti-Mage. The battle of the two carry players. What do you think is going to be the outcome here, Lizard?
Well, we're going to see a good game no matter what. I have seen HellRaisers play against the Anti-Mage earlier, in the Navi series, and they were hunting him constantly. And they were killing that Anti-Mage quite successfully. My question is, will they have the same combo? In that other game, they had the Lash and Nyx, constantly hunting the AM, constantly pressuring him. This time around, they have a Riki that can fit that Invis role that kind of scouts him out, but they don't necessarily have the necessary damage follow-up afterwards.
Yeah, that's my concern as well. And I feel like when you look on the other side as well, if Nigma get a little bit further ahead in this laning phase, there's a really huge opportunity for them to actually come and invade the Alchemist jungle really early on. You know, they've got the Clockwork, they've got the Nyx Assassin, even to an extent the Silencer as well. You know, this isn't a hero which really cares about missing out on a bit of farm. I don't think he's worried about getting left behind. So I think coin could land on either side, as it were. And I'm interested to see who's going to come out. And I think, you know, judging from last game, I'm actually going to favor HellRaisers in this one.
Yeah, HellRaisers definitely have a good draft. They had it in that first matchup, in that first game as well. My question is, how will they lane on the side of Nigma? It looks like Silencer is going mid. Will that be a Wii Silencer? We also have seen that before, but that was against an Ember Spirit. And yeah, we'll see a core Silencer. It will be that support Clinks again. That's not a surprise though, right?
No, that's not a surprise to anybody, unless you're just tuning in and you've, you know, been somewhere else.
Yeah,
Maybe one of these vital workers coming in, getting off a shift and being like, what the hell's going on in my Dota games?
Dude, if I don't see a lot of Clinks picks in my pub games, I don't know. It has to happen. Clinks is actually a strong position 5. There's a reason why Kuro is picking it all the time and why it's so successful. He hurts, and you can't even trade hits with him because that level 1 dat pack and searing arrows just destroy people.
Yeah, it's pretty insane the amount of stats this guy gets just from killing a little creepy. Meanwhile, it really is a battle of the Invis. We've got 3 Invis heroes in this game so far.
It's the hunt, right?
Yeah.
It's the wild hunt on both sides. On one side you have Ricky and perhaps Batrider hunting the AM, and on the other side we will see possibly Clinks, Clock, and Nyx all hunting the Alchemist.
And so there's a bit of a swap-up going on here as Nyx makes his way up to the top lane. And the Oracle and the Void Spirit making their way down to bottom. Meanwhile, Kuro, with 4 stacks on top of him, is taking a ton of damage right now from Roger. Even getting off an extra hit there. Kuro going to be forced to use some regen nice and early on here, I would imagine. GH slowly scuttling in towards his bottom lane. Sees Roger. And there's what Harry Freak was talking about on the panel. The mana burn into the bat. Going to be very, very annoying. But talking about very annoying, they are annoying GH, and they might actually bring him down. Yeah, there you go. First blood. Easy peasy.
Yeah, that's your position for Batrider right there. Even though you're a Nyx assassin with, I think, the highest base region in the game, plus the headdress, that doesn't matter. When you get 5 sticky napalm charges right off the bat, you fall easily.
You sure do.
This mid lane as well, we will see the Silencer versus the Alchemist, and I think we should do quite alright on this mid lane, just like he did versus the Ember Spirit. He was completely dominating him. In this game as well, you need to help out the Alchemist. Perhaps you don't really have kill potential, but at least some stacks to help him recover.
Interesting to see that they're, you know, this team, they love the Void Spirit. You know, they were first phasing it throughout the Paramatch League when they played in that. This is a hero which they can flex to at least 4 different roles. You know, they play it on the 5. In fact, then they can play it everywhere. I've even seen them run it carry. I've seen them run it mid. I've seen them run it offlane. So, Funnick definitely one of the best Void Spirit offlane players I've seen so far with that hero. So good to see him playing that one right now. They
value the Void Spirit quite a lot, and also it's so good because it's a flex pick for them. No matter what time you pick it, the enemy team can't really know where that hero is going. Top lane as well, we see Mind Control versus Ricky. Ricky should be quite alright here, perhaps needs a little bit of assistance from his teammates, but overall should never really be threatened by Mind Control. You have Link Strike to just get away.
Yeah, he can be pretty annoying. But also for the chase as well, if that comes... Oh, Katani. No, I think he's alright there. Yep, gets a little bit low, another South being popped, but... you know, all things considered, he's popping some sounds at the same time. He's still getting a decent amount of CS in the mid lane. I don't think too much that is being sunk into regen just yet, though I have seen 2 sounds in under 3 minutes. Meanwhile, GH getting slowed down, getting stunned up, rooted to the floor as Roger's on top of him, and it's another roasted Scorpion in the bottom lane, and they bring down GH for a second time. Meanwhile, Miracle playing with Funnick, taking away his mana, and now realizing he has to flick himself out.
And this lane right now for HR is very easy. They have very strong 3 heroes early on. However, once you gain a couple of levels on that Nyx assassin, at least that level 2, things might turn a little bit. At least they won't be feeding any longer. But it's a rough lane, even for this AM.
Yeah, he's not having the best time so far. A lot of pressure being put out, especially with GH dropping twice now. I feel the burn from the bat as he continues to layer up those sticky napalms.
You can see Kuroki, he's doing the same thing he always does with the Clinks, but the problem is he can't really stay and fight into a Batrider, because if he gets too many sticky napalm charges off on him, he's going to die just like anyone else. You have the Firefly together with the Purge from Oracle.
They're turning. They're looking at Roger right now, and Roger, he's trying to find his way out of this one, but there isn't much of a way out. He's going to get killed off by the damage from that Clinks. Taken out of the equation. Meanwhile, they're going to get some exit damage as well. Oh, Korea, careful. There we go. They do get in the right there. Oh, no, they don't.
Got
Nice
him.
right click.
Oh, that's the level 2 coming into play from GH. When you start with mana burn, yeah, it's cute, it's great, you're mana burning the Batrider all the time, but you don't have kill potential.
Oh, nice. They're pinging out Kuro pretty heavily here as Funnick comes into this lane. Roger coming back from the grave as well, looking to get involved in this one, but they still don't seem to have enough damage. Kuro's still perfectly peachy, and now stun comes out. Funnick in some trouble, and he's just going to get taken on down. The damage from Nigma is a little bit too much. A 3-man route doesn't mean much, though, as they'll just continue on chasing. Maybe GH's going to lose his life here. 6 stacks of sticky napalm on Tim. Kuro as well is going to make it a double kill for Roger. Meanwhile, Miracle basically just sitting and watching this take place. Not much he can do about it, to be honest. He's an anti-mage after all.
They might have to switch things up a little bit. I'm not so sure that it's worth it dying like that on your supports on the offlane. Obviously, Miracle is still farming. He has 15 CS versus Void Spirit's 14, so you're satisfied with that, but he could have more, and your supports are dying, and that Oracle just hit level 3. Once that level 2 Purifying Flames is activated, that's way too much nuke damage on this lane to deal with.
Yeah, it's that's going to be a hefty old blow as Kuro getting rooted up once again, throwing in the Remnant to drag him back and secure themselves the bounty rune. Q play, and if it results in a kill, it's going to be all the cuter. And yep, looks like it's healing up coming through. There we go, Purifying Flames finishes the jobs. Maposhka brings him down, and Kasani now seems like he was meeting up with Mind Control for something there.
Yeah, Mind Control was going for the bounty rune right there, and Roger took the other one. You're playing versus an alchemist, you have to go for those bounty runes. But this lane right now is turning into a disaster for Nigma.
Yeah, cameraman daring to look away for a minute, but immediately starts kicking off again as they lose another hero. A Miracle, well, he does dodge out the Remnant, but still taking a decent amount of damage. But Roger getting a pretty big first boots here. Is this a little bit too aggressive? I'm not sure. He's taking hits from the tower, and the Urn's going to come out, but he is going to die to that one. That's a little bit awkward.
It kind of happens to Roger here and there that he overcommits, dives too much, especially in these games in which he's doing really well.
Talking about diving, Miracle's not done. Remnant is going to miss, and that's going to be another kill for Miracle. He's looking at Funnick as well. Funnick, though, he's able to get himself to safety. Miracle can't chase any further than that.
Lane is salvaged right there. Miracle just got double kill. Solo experience for both of those kills as well. It couldn't have went better for him.
Yeah, for sure. And, well...
A really good thing about this is that it activates your supports to go somewhere else. You can see Kuro is already hunting the Alchemist a little bit. That's where this position 5 Klings comes in handy. You can block his camps, you can ward them up, you can do some other stuff, because Miracle right now should be fine on the bottom lane.
Dang, the tips coming out from Kuro onto Funnick there as well as the Anti-Mage chases him off the lane. They kind of realize that this level 5 Anti-Mage is nothing to joke with right now. Meanwhile, Kasani being chased out of the jungle.
But this is it. Kuro plus Mind Control. They have to play together, and they have to continuously pressure this Alchemist. Because remember, this is an Alchemist game. If you leave him unchecked, he will carry. Miposhka trying to help out a bit.
Yeah, but they just turn targets, and with a level 6 on Mind Control, they're able to just close the gap onto Miposhka super easily, bring him down, and get themselves a nice little Oracle pick-off. Meanwhile, GH sculling himself out to the bottom lane.
You tanked the gang there as an Oracle. He also planted the wards just before dying, so they will know if there's any sort of invasion coming from Nigma. Kuro will also be scouted out here by the sentry ward.
Yeah, but what does it matter? I mean, Kasani can't be, like, chasing him away or anything. He's probably going to lose a decent amount of his CS to this Kuro, which is... Kuro just starts unleashing onto him. Sees him, yep, takes his creep. Thank you very much. Turning around, no, we'll get another one. And actually, with Nick's coming over, uh-oh, okay, all right. Yeah, Ricky will not pass up an opportunity to kill Kuro like that, that's for sure.
One big thing that we haven't discussed about HR is the Ricky, and he's going to be very active after the laning stage. He's 40-11 off of that top lane. He's dominated Mind Control, but Nyx on this Ricky is just such a strong laner right now. It's not easy to play against. And he will have to be the playmaker. He will have to join his teammates very soon to keep the Alchemist in that comfort zone in the jungle farming.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him, that's for sure. But looking at the CS chart, it's Sansa who leads Ricky close behind. Alchemist not doing badly for himself either, so unable really to disrupt this Alchemist too much. Miracle, you know, 30 CS plus the double kill, feeling pretty good. A nice dodge out from Funnick there from the stun from GH.
You can see the two supports instantly after zoning bottom lane are moving towards mid.
See, they're looking at Miracle here, but he's got an easy TP to safety. Blink away. and safety.
So the thing is, even though Riki is very popular right now, the smoke screen is great versus anti-mage, but you aren't getting it early on. You're going 0-4-4, and later on you're getting that smoke screen when you get the defusal tool.
Kuro on the run, so caught out again by the Riki. Gonna grab themselves another. Meanwhile, they're looking for the return kill onto Kasani, but Kasani's got the ultimate, able to just turn around onto Mind Control. Is there any support coming through from HellRaisers? There certainly is. Miposhka's here to root up Mind Control, keep him at bay, and allow Kasani to get himself away. Meanwhile, Miposhka might not be so lucky as more Nigma heroes coming in. We hit pretty damn hard. Global Side's coming out as well, but HellRaisers, they actually dodged that one out on the Riki thanks to the tricks of the trade. Now they look forward onto Wee. Wee's gonna die. A nice remnant out onto Mind Control as well. They're gonna make it a second kill coming in their way as Nyx gets himself the double, and HellRaisers, they oust Nigma from their jungle and kill off that mid lane. And the first move make from Wee is getting punished real bad here by HellRaisers.
He got +2 there, but he also died in the end. And remember, HellRaisers have studied the way Nigma played yesterday versus Liquid, right? And they're matching their aggression so well. You have to bring the numbers there. You have to protect your Alchemist. They brought their Nyx, they brought their supports, and they successfully ousted Nigma, like you just said.
Meanwhile, Kuro going to see if he can maybe take himself a bounty in here. Miposhka weighing up his options. He's like, yeah, go on then. I'll take some hits for that one. Meanwhile, Funnick also able to do the same thing. So 3 bounty runes going the way of HellRaisers. Miposhka will change his life for that one as Wee comes in, throws some glaives his way. Meanwhile, Funnick, he's going to get hook shotted. Guy in control doesn't have actually the cogs. Doesn't need him apparently. Going to run him down all the same. Funnick did not have an astral step or anything like that to run away with. Meanwhile, next he's sitting with the double damage here.
Yeah,
got spooked.
He got spooked there when Kuroki opened fire on the tower. He thought that the projectiles were actually going towards him.
Oh, messed up the deny as well. Nyx just needs to take a deep breath, you know? It's alright. I didn't see you.
So far, Alchemist, I think it's alright. His farm isn't as good as it can be, but he's still farming well. The only problem that comes with this Radiance is that you're playing into a Nyx Assassin, so they will always have that easy setup with the Carapace. Followed with the Global, Oracle won't be able to save him, and you won't be able to ulti. You need such good wards on the side of HR. You need to protect this area of the map with sentries and wards constantly.
Yeah. And the moment that pressure lets off, like his net worth is just starting to skyrocket. And Nyx doing an incredible job on this on this Riki so far to punish Nigma's attempts at invading this jungle. You know, Nigma, they want to be crawling all over the enemy side of the map like maggots through meat. But so far, they just keep getting caught out by the Riki and have really kind of given up a bit more than they've been able to gain from it. But this might be something. Kasani, though, he sees it.
They know they're
nice
baiting.
Acting. Beautiful acting. They jump forwards onto GH here. GH does have the spike Carapace. Kasani, he's not even bothered. He's just like, yeah, go on, Riki, get the kill. I'm just going to keep on farming. But Nick's going to take some damage from Wee. They're going to chase him back, chase him away. But still, I mean, nothing lost from HellRaisers and nothing gained from Nigma.
Yeah, all those observers and sentries and Xani just innocently passing by, not really turning towards Nyx Assassin. That's exactly how they have to play. With Nyx Assassin Defusal, suddenly you won't be able to get out as easily as they just did.
Absolutely.
What's we going for? Let's see, a casual 4-staff here. I think it's really good versus the Riki right later on.
It's needed. Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't really have much to deal with the lasso in this game for Nigma.
Yeah, you don't really have a lot to deal with Roger's lasso. That will definitely be a problem later on. You do have Nyx Assassin with Carapace, right? So you will always be able to stun him through the Firefly if that happens.
Yeah, I guess they're hoping that that's enough. Meanwhile, Funnick on the run here, gonna get hook-shotted up. Cogs coming down as well. Global Silence even being thrown the way of Funnick right now. I don't think he's surviving this one. The damage is there. The kill comes through.
And you can see that Oracle is positioning himself right. He knows which target will be attacked. They had the wards in their jungle. They saw this aggressive move happening. However, you can't false promise if you're silenced. Not that it's possible with Oracle to self-cast Purge if you really see them. It clears the global science and then you false promise the target that they went on, but it's a very difficult move to do.
Very short pause here in game number 2. But yeah, I mean, so far so good for... Oh, wait, what's this hammer doing? Oh, it's the new way to build Battle Fury, isn't it? My bad, my bad. Meanwhile, Roger controlled up, being hit pretty heavily here. Nigma trying to chase him down as well, but they through the trees, Roger? Oh, he's out of Firefly. I don't really think there's a way out of this one anymore, and they're going to use the Mana Void just to secure the kill for Miracle there. Getting himself that money and get that Battle Fury nearly now finished up for himself. Electing to skip the boots as well, might I add.
That's a very, very good timing. That's going to be around 14-minute mark, Battle Fury. One of the better timings on that anti-mage in the last couple of series that I watched.
If anyone can make it work, it's gonna be Nigma.
The thing is, though, once that Battle Fury starts for Miracle, right, he becomes literally a farmer. He's going throughout the jungle, he's searching for his farm. Exactly. Farming Simulator 2020. On the other side, you're playing into a Ricky Maru who will be hunting you constantly. So this is where HR really need to step up the pace and start hunting Miracle. Up to this point, you really couldn't do a lot, but once that Battle Fury comes, you need to predict his farming patterns.
You do, yeah. Now the pressure turns, and it is now on HellRaisers. Previously, it was on Nigma to put the pressure onto the Alchemist. I feel like they did a decent job. Let's see what HellRaisers can do to respond to Nigma. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, they're looking at GH. There's a hook shot coming in to try and help him out here. He's going to survive for the time being. Will finally get finished up, but there's decent damage coming back the way of Nyx. So Ricky needs to get himself out. Root's going to come through, a blink to the high ground, maybe get himself to safety. And Nyx actually buying back there. GH really feeling like he needs to be present for this fight.
That was a global as well that they baited out. Not only the Nyx Assassin buyback, but the global. They didn't really... Yeah, Klink's ulti. They didn't really lose a lot, and it's a perfect fight for them so far. Let's see if they can make anything else happen.
Stuffed out from Nyx here as he's using the tricks of trade, but Mind Control just going to come and sit on Nyx's face. He's getting himself away, but it's Funnick in the backlines right now. Global Silence is going to pop. Funnick in some trouble, getting himself out, taking some damage, but he is going to live. Risky, but he's okay. Meanwhile, Roger sitting on this bounty rune, picks that one up easily enough, and this time it's going to be a 2 for 2, so HellRaiser's not getting quite as much money as in previous rune drops.
Oh, there we go, the first attempt on
Miracle, he's getting low. Can they finish the job? Though we can't. Not enough damage coming out from Nyx to finish the job there, but still chasing him out of that jungle, just as important.
Miposhka, he was TPing there on the outpost, which was a good play, but instead of using Purge to keep Miracle locked down, he uses Purifying Flames to try and get the kill. Miracle TPs away, Nyx away.
Yeah, shame, but you know, in the heat of the moment. Funny, he's being so annoying. He's like, oh, you want the outpost, do you? Well, here's a remnant, here's another one, here's another one.
So far, they're doing this successfully. HR, they're forcing Nigma to play on their side of the map, and because of that, Xani is completely left uncontested in his own jungle. He's getting his farm. Even though they have wards on him, they can't really approach him because they're way too busy protecting Miracle.
Beautiful stack there as well. Been very efficient in this jungle with this Radiance. And look at this, he's going straight in towards BKB. I really love this build. This is just like, hey, you know what? Radiant, BKB, I'm going to be down some lanes, hitting some buildings, hitting some heroes, and looking to...
That BKB pretty much explains what they want to do. It gives you a glimpse into the future. They want to fight as soon as that BKB is up. Perhaps a Blink Dagger afterwards or an AC, but with that BKB they will be ready to fight as they will have a way of dealing with the global, with Clock, with Nyx, with all these controlling heroes.
And with the game this Ricky's been having, you know, he's going to have his next land by then as well, so hopefully HellRaisers will be joining up and putting some real pressure onto Nigma, otherwise this anti-mage is going to go out of control. But so far, not able to keep up with the Alchemist. I mean, that's kind of expected, especially with the way HellRaisers have been playing.
This tier 1 on the mid lane is also very important. The fact that they managed to take it away from Alchemist makes it much easier for Nigma to initiate in. Kuro,
yeah, getting rooted up. Nicely done. Throwing it onto Nyx there and making sure they can secure the kill onto Kuro, and then quick blink strike away. Going to waste the TP off Nigma there. Stunning up Funnick at the very least with a cute little spiked carapace, but yeah, that's going to be your captain dead.
That's your captain dead, and that's Anti-Mage as well, wasting a little bit of his time, TPing in, trying to make things happen, trying to maybe get a counter kill. Not really the optimal play right there, as Alchemist is still farming away. He has that BKB. Just a moment ago we clicked on him, he just had everything only lined up, and now he already has the BKB finished.
Yeah, that was disgustingly quick, but that is an Alchemist for you, especially when they've got the Radiance and they know how to farm the jungle this efficiently. He's doing a remarkable job. clearing through these stacks. Meanwhile, Mind Control going to get jumped in the middle lane. He needs to get outside of the smoke cloud. He has got the battery assault running, so it's making this take a little bit longer than they want, but still, he'll grab the kill. Next grabbing another one as his Riki is just finding so much here. Meanwhile, GH lays eyes upon Miposhka and could really use himself a catch here, but it's just not happening.
I wonder what the idea of stopping there from Mind Control was. He wasn't defused, right? It wasn't the diffusal blade or anything that stopped him. He just stopped at the edge of the smoke screen.
Yeah.
Was he maybe searching for a target to hookshot in, I guess?
Possibly, yeah, it's Mage, he's in trouble. He's getting really low here. I can see on the top. Over side. There we go. He's running up to the trees. Miracle. The global side saves him, but no! They find him! Tricks of the trade come down, and that is a beautiful one. They get the return kill to Miposhka, but I mean, I'm not Donald Trump, but that doesn't look like a good trade deal to me.
It definitely isn't, especially now when Wii is going to fall as well. Like...
No. Nigma, what is happening? They are falling under the pressure of this Riki, of this Alchemist just chasing them. I mean, Alchemist hasn't even enjoyed the fight yet. Oh
no, the hookshot misses as well. Obviously, not really the longest cooldown for an ultimate, so you don't care that much, but not getting the kills, also losing your 2 cores hurts quite heavily. When you're playing versus an Alchemist that's constantly just farming away, he's now on 14k net worth.
Yeah, cheeky from GH there again, just using that spike carapace and using those shamans, but in comes a Riki. So much damage on Nyx right now, and they've got the Remnant coming down on Takuro, dragging him outside of the cogs actually. Oh no! Oh, Mind Control, what have you done?
I've seen them yesterday as well, in a game that was much easier. They were blocking each other, trolling each other, making each other die, but that probably not intended.
Yeah, just testing the strength of his membership on this team, maybe, Mind Control. Don't want to do that to your captain too often. Meanwhile, Miracle jumps in. Miposhka taken down. That's a nice little kill for Miracle there, but still, I mean, the last few minutes of events certainly favoring HellRaisers.
Yeah, and that's all without Alchemist even joining the fights. Remember, he still has that BKB on 10 seconds, Radiance. He's completely farming, not joining the fights at all. It's difficult for Nigma, however. You have a Silencer core versus Void Spirit versus Batrider with Blink Dagger versus Rikimaru. For them, it's very simple to get on top of Wii and just eliminate him from the fight before it has even started.
Absolutely true. Could be very hard for the Silencer to play this game.
They picked Silencer a couple of times before. It was usually versus an Ember Spirit and versus a lineup that doesn't really have a lot of reach, a lot of catch. Yeah. So they made Wii really work.
Wow, Roche has been he's been farming hard.
Yeah, Blink Dagger Brace for Roche.
Scary.
There we go.
Oh, he sold Silence or Aegis instead.
But look, this combination of Roger plus any core in the game can kill Miracle off. Not like that though. If you blink, you should lasso as well.
Oh, another hookshot going a little bit astray there, making the kill kind of difficult. And HellRaisers, they see themselves an opportunity. Phoenix jumping straight in on the front lines here. Meanwhile, GH being chased down. There's a concoction in the back lines to kill off GH. Meanwhile, Global Science is going to come down, but it's not stopping them jumping on Kuroki and finishing off that kill. But in the back lines, Roger and Miposhka have dropped. But look at the Alchemist just running himself forward here. I mean, you can only run Nigma, but can you run when there's a Yules coming out onto your TPing Silencer? He's going to be another log on the fire, which has been created on the Diet side of the map right now as HellRaisers run themselves in and get themselves 3 more kills.
Yeah, they're hunting Miracle, who has been creep skipping, but he will be fine. He gets out alive at least. You lose 3, you lose Global Silence. Oracle does not pop his ulti, obviously, because he was in Global, just killed off. And usually when you're playing versus a lineup that has Oracle, you have to kill Oracle first. But these heroes don't care any longer. If you kill Oracle, you will waste that Global, and they will fight you afterwards. With the amount of reach that they've got at the moment, I don't know where he has to be. He has to be on a cliff right here somewhere. They will kill him off every single time.
He's like a wall of heroes in front of him to not be killed off that easily. But yeah, I mean, so much catch, so much damage. And these Global Silences have been kind of pooped because they never catch the Riki, it feels like. He's always inside of the tricks of a trade, and then he just jumps out and continues killing whoever he was killing in the first place. So I feel like Nigma are maybe a little bit too relaxed right now, you know, maybe a little bit too back in their game in chairs, and we need to, because I mean, we've had some really bad hook shots so far.
I feel that they're completely controlled at the moment. HR are playing the game properly, the way they want to be playing. Meanwhile, Nigma, they're struggling to do anything. Their game plan should be to hunt Xani, to try and fight him, well, 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
but
true.
That time has already passed. I have a feeling that HR, with this 16k lead, are already in for the win.
It's seeming like a big game to throw.
structures are fortified.
Kasani just hitting away at this tower, team position behind him, but I mean, yeah, to add to the point, you know, I was talking about the hook shots, but none of those hook shots were ever aimed at Kasani anyway, so even if they hit, you know, it's not like it's turning into to an Alchemist kill, which is what we really want from them right now, but...
Oh, Miracle. Well read.
Good.
Very well read. They have an observer ward right there scouting out, so in the jungle they saw them moving in.
Not so well read from Kuro, it looks like, though, as he's been thrown up into the air, but GH is going to come in and tank the Remnant instead. Now the hook shot comes in the backlines along with the global sides as well, and my goodness, Roger explodes. Funnick headed the same way as well. It's a nice double kill for Miracle here. They're blinking forwards, looking for more. They find Maposhka. Maposhka, does he have a counterplay here? Doesn't really look like it. Even if he can juke, he doesn't have a TP scroll, so this is going to be a third kill going the way of Nigma here. A bit of a mistake coming out from HellRaisers. Uncharacteristic so far in this series, but they do get eliminated by Nigma.
And that's Miracle as well, joining the fights early on as an anti-mage. Doesn't have Basher, doesn't have Butterfly, anything like that. Manta and Blade Fury, that's all he needs. That's good. And he joins the fights, he makes it easier for them to take down Roger, to take down Void Spirit. It was also very interesting the way they started fighting. Kuro baits it out, once again GH runs into the smoke screen with the Carapace, preventing them from just eliminating the Clinks, and then the fight is much easier for Nigma. However, Xani, this beast has to start fighting. He needs to start showing up, because that's a Heart Radiance and the BKB. I expected him to be in these fights already. Now with the AC, I mean...
Yeah, he's got a, what, 14k gold advantage. How much of that is in Kasani?
That's, what, 7k at least in just the Alchemist.
Yeah, so not really that much of an advantage if he's not there. But Roshan is going to be the target. This is definitely going to be a symbol that HellRaisers are ready to go. You know, Aegis, AC, Heart, and there's not much more you need. I feel like you do give the Aegis to the Riki, though. I mean, this Alka is not dying.
It's definitely possible to give it to Riki. I think so too.
Yeah, 13-0, by the way. That's a bit of a streak on him also.
The only thing is, if you give it to Alchemist, he will be the one taking
a hook shot, but no, there's not Funnick. He uses him up, stops mind control, trying to the counterplay. Nyx will pick up that Aegis, and now, well, hook shot onto nothing right now. Meanwhile, the lassos come out onto the GH, with both of them held together, brought down. HellRaisers get the Aegis, 2 kills to boot as well.
I just love the way he flame breaks them into the smoke screen back, so they can't escape, so they can't do anything, pretty much as they're silenced. Meanwhile, Alchemist takes the Roshan, has that Aegis now. I believe Riki picked it up, so
Funnick, again, you know, remember last game when he was waiting outside the Roche pit, knew exactly when they were going to go for it on the Pangolier?
This play right here, this is what they have to do. To push, you need to catch Miracle first. He has his items already, he's ready to fight, and look at that. Spell Shield just has spider senses, knows what's happening.
Yeah, Miracle is still playing a bit of a stonker here, but unfortunately it doesn't really matter how hard you play on this anti-mage. This Alchemist has just had so much space. Now they're going to feel the weight of his farm. So he just takes towers all by himself. His team are behind him, though. They're kind of seeing an option here, but Maposhka getting eliminated very quickly, and the clumsy net down onto Roger as well, followed up with a pale and a ton of right-click damage from Kuro, and we will bring down the second kill here. A little bit clumsy once again from HellRaisers, a bit too far from their Pillar of Hope, but GH's going to get eliminated on the backlines here. Meanwhile, they're throwing spells at Kasani. They need more damage, though. Do they really have enough to pump out into him? Still holding on this BKB as well, Kasani. He's just happy to tank it up from We. We just has to back himself away. It's not doing anything, not even tickling this Alchemist.
They're a bit too separated. Your Alchemist is showing on top, and because of that, they're moving across the map. They're thinking, Nigma, alright, they will not attack us, they will not go on Alchemist because they think he's bluffing, heroes are behind him, but there's just so many ways to gain info for Nigma. You have Clinks, you have Nyx Assassin, they're constantly moving across the map, they have good wards as well, they recognize an opportunity and they go for it, they get a couple of good kills. It's the way they have to be playing now.
Sure, now the orb destruction on the Riki. I mean, how much of a problem has this Riki been this game?
He's been a really big problem. He's pretty much been the only problem so far for Nigma, because Alchemist hasn't really joined the fights, right?
Yeah.
Has the Basher Orb of Destruction as well. I love the Manta, by the way, on that Riki. He had to pick it up, not only to clear the dust, but also for the global.
Yeah, true. It's a needed pickup, a necessary pickup. Because the global silence goes through BKB anyway, right? So You pop the BKB and then you can still be vulnerable.
It gives you better stats too, right? So
Yeah.
Manta just works a little bit better on Ricky. There are players that still go for BKB. The way you play versus Global Silence is you wait for the Global and then you BKB afterwards. But I think Manta is just a superior item on the hero.
Definitely feels like it's been this game. No faulting in Nyx's gameplay as now HellRaisers gathering up and starting to push down this tier 2.
This is a high ground push right here. They have a creep wave. AEM isn't pushing the high ground. He's not split pushing you well enough. And because of that, you can threaten at least the tier 3.
Who can they go on though? If Nigma could find any entry kill they want, who would they bring down?
These two are way too difficult to take down.
Has to be the Oracle or someone, right? Meanwhile, GH is getting targeted up right now inside that smoke cloud. They've managed to get out of the spike carapace, so it's taken a fair amount of time. They've actually dragged Wee into the smoke cloud, into the tricks of the trade, bringing down both those heroes straight away. But Miracle in the backlines kills Miposhka. Kura dead already though. Now Kasani rampaging through the fight, finding whoever he wants, wherever he wants. Global Silence though comes down. Roger taking the big chunk of damage here, chasing him with the right clicks coming through as well. Meanwhile, Nick trying to get himself away, but it's going to tick away. But he's got the Aegis. Things are okay for the time being. Meanwhile, Phonic just getting Miracle with the Yules, with the Remnant. Is it enough? Yes, it is. They bring him down. Anti-Mage dead, taken out of the fight. Well, such a long time in the grave, and they are just murdering Nigma inside their own base. 29 minutes. Rax now exposed. Where are the creeps?
No
though?
creeps. I believe Miracle did manage to creep skip one wave before this fight happened.
It wasn't just Miposhka he killed, was it?
Yep.
It wasn't just Miposhka.
He
Kasani literally just goes and buys a full Death Lane. It's like, well, we need something to push. I know what does that.
This creep skip that he did, so many players would TP earlier, would go back earlier, but that creep skip that he had just done saved them completely. They could have lost the game right here.
Yeah.
If the creeps were in the base, they have 0 tier 2s. All 3 sides could have fallen.
But HellRaisers are showing no signs of giving up right now as the Remnant comes down onto GH, but he's got a Spike Carapace, and I think when you put the Remnant too close to him, it disappears. Like, it doesn't even matter though. Nyx is going to be able to finish off the kill. Has to put himself in a little bit of risk, but again, GH a little bit too far forward. I really don't think he should be kind of making those movements there, but I guess he was expecting HellRaisers to leave, maybe not showing them enough respect, but now they're going on to second lane of Barracks. HellRaisers.
This could be just quickly over. I don't see how they defend. Anti-Mage is up in 50 seconds.
Is that still a 10-second? Surely he used it in the last fight, right?
I think he didn't even use the
I don't think he did. I didn't see it.
Yeah. Mind control. This is a really good position for him
He
because
popped
of
the smoke. They're
Miposhka.
like, wait a minute. wait a minute. Something's not right here. Where is he? There he is. He gets a hook shot, but it's too late. I mean, it's mega creeps. It's disaster. If any team could come back from it, then it's certainly Nigma, but it's a huge ask to them right now. But they're going onto the back lines, but Kuroki's just immediately dead. Maybe Miracle can bring down Miposhka, but no Abyssal Blade's going to come out onto him. They've got the smoke cloud, they've got the badges, they've got the damage, they've got so many heroes just surrounding Miracle. He's done so well in this game, but unfortunately, he wasn't enough to drag their team through a victory. There it is. Game number 2. It goes to HellRaisers.
Man, Anti-Mage is a really popular hero in CIS, and because of that, HellRaisers, they know how to play against it. And they did exactly that.